We're out here at Roswell Marine picking up a donation from them. They're giving us some speakers, amplifiers, wiring kits. It's a really cool system, all marine grade, high quality stuff that we're gonna put in the BoomBike to make it awesome. And BoomBike. Huh? Well, we made it back from Roswell Marine, got our haul of awesome audio equipment here. So we're gonna go through and unbox all the parts that we've got. We've got some sub enclosures, we've got the sub, some other speakers, some wiring accessories. So let's take a look at what we've got. All right, so we've got our, these should be the 10-inch sub enclosures. And you can see inside the way it's got the ports. So we're really excited about using this because it's perfectly engineered for the speakers that we got from them. So we should have like the highest quality audio. We've got two of these, and then we got the speakers. So inside should be sitting something like that. These are the 10-inch subwoofers. So we've got, the box in a box situation. These are, I think, the R1 line. Welcome to the family. It says so right there on the box.
There we go. So much glare.
So you can see it's a C280 1800 without grill. So one of the things that's funny is they sell these with a grill that has LED built into it, but since we're building a vintage style box, the modern designed grills don't really match our aesthetic. So they're really quite nice. So because they're marine grade, you can see the whole basket is completely enclosed in a injection molded enclosure, like the smooth design here.
Nice binding posts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. So some pretty serious binding posts on the back. All in all, a really nice.
Let's see the back.
Here. Am I holding it the right way? R1. 250 watt RMS. We'll be throwing a little bit more to that. More on that in a minute. And they give you some big honking speakers. So I mean, just because we have to, right? And then we're gonna make our own grills, so we can make the speaker look bigger once it's in there. So that's why we didn't get, another reason why we didn't get their grills, so we can make our own to fit better the size of the box. All right, so now we get to some of the electric bits. This is our amplifier. It's a C920 1836 SD, or the R9100.6. So it's a 900 watt 6-channel amplifier. Nice aluminum chassis. Again, since it's marine grade, everything is super robustly made. So you see we've got the big power inputs for like a 4-aught or something, you know, a 0-gauge wire. Some nice built-in fuses, and these are our inputs here. And then we can choose how many channels to use. You can bridge things, and we'll probably have to read the manual to make sure we set it up all right, or just ask them for help. Nice having the manufacturer, 45 minutes away from where you're building, so if you have problems, they can help you. But they've been super supportive, and they're like, yeah, anything you need, let us know. So we're excited. So there's the amp. All right, so moving on. Now we've got some mids. We've got two 6.5-inch speakers. They've actually modified these for us to take those LEDs off, like I was talking about. You can see in the picture, like the grill is like pretty contemporary design, like, but that doesn't really work for a BoomBox. So they've actually taken these out for us, and right here is where the LEDs would be connecting. So they took the LED connection off, so we can put our own grill on it. But just like the sub, you see it's all plastic basket. They also use these Deutsch connectors, so everything's watertight, which I believe we've got. They gave us the mate to that. Here we go. So we got the two of them. We're gonna have to build our own enclosures for these because they sell them for like a pod, like you put on a boat. So we're gonna have to build a box for these. But that's what we do. We build stuff, right? So. But yeah, we got two of those guys, and then they've also given us a couple tweeters. Nice little mounting clips. Looks like there might be a crossover.
That metal perf is going to look great.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We should try to see if we could even match that with
for the
other grills that we
yeah.
get. Yeah.
Trying to pull it out of it. There we go. I mean, it feels pretty nice. Threaded back, so this clip, you thread it through, and then
oh, that's nice.
That clip is what retains it. Of course, I'm going to do it, and we're never going to get it out, so I'm just going to leave it. So you can see it's got teeth on the inside. I guess you can maybe squeeze it or something to get it out, but either way, so all we got to do is cut that hole in the panel, put that in, and then drop the speaker in, and it'll just snap in. So
very nice.
Nice tweeters, yeah. So they gave us some wiring kits. They gave us a bunch of RCA connectors. This is cool. It's a dual zone RCA like volume control fader knob. We don't know if we'll be able to use this or integrate it. We think we will. We're worried about the public being able to grab it, so we might wire it somewhere different. But what's cool is these knobs, they pointed out, are just like with a little, I don't know if you can see, there's a little hex key. So we're thinking we might be able to pull that hex key off and 3D print our own big scale knob. And then we got an inline fuse holder, those Deutsch connectors. And the last thing they kind of threw at us, which is kind of cool, they have this thing called the Cybox, which is a Bluetooth interface. And the idea is you can remote mount this little guy wherever we want. So you see you got battery in, and then you've got line level out. So you can have Bluetooth on it. So, you know, if our programming gets behind and we just want to throw some sounds at it, we can do that. I like a good size manual. Yeah. Yep. Oh, so you can do switched or delayed, and then it has an output, so it'll turn your amp on and off. That's kind of cool. So, you know, like on car audio, you'd have that remote to turn the amps on. It's got that built into this little guy, so that's really cool. All right, another big thank you to Roswell Marine for donating all this amazing equipment to us. Even if it wasn't donated to us, like, this is really nice stuff, and we're really honored to get to use it. If you want to learn more about Roswell Marine, check out their website. You can get all this equipment online. But now that we actually have stuff, we're ready to start assembling and making some noise. All right, so now that we've got all the audio gear, we decided that we were going to look and see how everything fits inside the chassis. We haven't really talked about it much, but Harry welded up this chassis. That's going to be the BoomBox. Underneath it, there's a tray that's got the wheels and everything on it. That's part of the bike. So, and that's all welded up, and we'll talk more about that later. So that's what this blue tape is. So we have, I think they're 16 or 18 inch bike tires that go in each side. And what we're going to do is on this, we're going to build like enclosures, like wheel tubs, basically. Because Florida, it's gonna rain at some point, so we don't want water splashing all in here. Like, the speakers and all this is all made for boats, but like our electronics aren't made for boats. We're gonna try to keep the water out as much as we can. So once we mocked it up on here, we put it up with the graphic, and we saw like the speakers need to go up a little bit. So this is just a mock-up to figure out the height, and we're also just laying out where electronics go. So the rider is going to be on this side with the graphic and with all the speakers and stuff on the right. And so we want to have all the electronics closest to the rider for just like shorter wire runs for all like the control lines and all that. And then the battery is going to go on the far end. And what we're using is, these are called LifePo 4 prismatic cells. So each one of these guys is 3.2 volts, 25 amp hour. So if you guys know anything about batteries, this cell right here is 75. Once we wire all this up, this is 75 amp hours. So this has more capacity than pretty much every car battery that's out there. And you can see it's pretty small and like super lightweight. Takes a little bit of work to get it to charge and wire it all that, but LifePo is very stable compared to regular LiPos, like you see people like vape pens catching on fire. This is a lot more stable than that. But yeah, so now we've got the whole mock-up done of kind of where we want to place stuff. We've got our shopping list. We're going to go to Skycraft and pick up a bunch of parts and get cranking on this thing. Okay, so on the front side, we have like, the original graphic. That was the concept art, if you want to call it. And so like we said, we raised the speakers up on the back so we can get it in line. So you can see the orange line that Ian drew. So the orange line is where the speaker goes. This square is where the port is on the Roswell boxes that we're using. So we're going to lose the round port, which is fine. Like we just picked it because why not? Then up here is where the mid-bass speaker is going to be, right? So that's going to go there. And just above it to the outside, we're going to put the tweeters. So that's going to handle all of our audio. The idea is, hopefully, that the audio stuff can kind of stay separate from each other and get mounted so that things are pretty rigid so we don't get a lot of vibration. Then the center section, this is all going to be LED video. These are all going to be buttons you can press, hopefully. And the center section is completely TBD. We've got some people with different ideas, but we don't know what those ideas are yet. So we're figuring out as we go along on that. But I think we've got a pretty solid plan for the entire face of it. All that's left is executing.